bill just introduced will be coming next week. Also, the number of people living in poverty in the United States is significantly more than what we've been telling us. I have all the details and the reports as well as the solution to lift all these people out of poverty in this video. So let's get into it right away. But if you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to subscribe by hitting that button right down below the video. It's totally free to do so. Alright, let's jump right into this. So first off, I quickly want to talk about this new report that I was just released talking about the millions and millions of people living in poverty that were previously unaccounted for. Yeah, this is actually some pretty big stuff here. So based on what we're seeing right now, there's millions of people living in poverty in the United States. However, based on some new reporting and some new calculations based on some economists out of Johns Hopkins, they're actually finding that there's an additional 8 million people living in poverty right now. They were completely unaccounted for. That is a massive number of people. One quick side note on this, remember a couple years ago, or maybe it was about a year and a half ago or so, the president was out saying that no older adults or people with disabilities should ever need to live in poverty in America. However, with that being said, let me tell you some of the details on this and how many people are actually living in poverty in America. Side note, a lot of these people are exactly those people. I just quoted seniors, elderly people with disabilities. Of course, not everyone, but a large percentage of these people are. Why? Because they are living on a fixed income like Social Security, SSDI, SSI, VA retirement benefits, things like this. So anyway, let's talk through all the details on this. So according to this report again from these economists out of Johns Hopkins, they are saying that 48 million people in the United States are living in poverty, which actually calculates out to 14.5% of our population. They're actually anticipating that there are 8 million people that were unaccounted for still living in poverty, based on the way that these calculations have always been run. At the same time, they are anticipating that millions more people will be falling into poverty in 2022 simply because of wages not really keeping up with inflation. At the same time, inflation getting away from everybody. Prices are increasing literally on everything, just like we've talked about in so many videos here lately. And with everything going on, they're anticipating a lot more people are going to fall into poverty this year. However, apparently the poverty information as far as how they calculate people living in poverty has been based on quarterly spending habits, which seems really weird to me because what does that have to do with essentially anything? But rather the people of these economists out of the Johns Hopkins are rather looking at annual income. So remember, as of 2022, the federal poverty line is $13,590, and in 2021, it was $12,880. So anyway, these economists from Johns Hopkins are looking at the the annual income levels versus quarterly spending habits to determine who is living in poverty and how many people are living in poverty. Once again, with everything going on right now. Alright, let's quickly talk about this new bill that will be coming next week based on some comments and a letter out of Steny Hoyer, who is one of the leading Democrats in the House of Representatives. So Steny Hoyer sent a letter over the Democratic representatives telling them to be on alert that a new bill will be sent over to the House of Representatives from the Senate as early as this coming week for them to pass in early April. This would be another COVID relief bill. In other words, a stimulus package. That is what all of the other ones have been, a COVID relief bill and a stimulus package. And those are the ones that contain stimulus checks. So anyway, Steny Hoyer just sent that letter over to Democratic representatives saying, hey, be on alert, we're going to be getting this bill here from the Senate relatively soon. And the objective is to get it passed as quickly as possible. Now this is from about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago now. The Congress, right? So they passed through the $1.5 trillion spending bill. It was sent over to the president. He signed it into law, and it was supposed to contain $22.5 billion. It was shaved down to 15.6 and then ultimately it was completely dropped. Well, last week, so just a few days ago, actually maybe it was earlier this week, either way it was the last week or so, Nancy Pelosi was out and said let's make it $45 billion. So that originally went from $22.5 billion. Now Nancy Pelosi saying let's make it 45. So you can see right now already before they really have anything done on this thing, they're already calling for twice as much money than what they originally called for. This is how these packages typically start, is one time they come out. Maybe a small handful of people in Congress come together and say it's got to be this amount, and then sure enough, you have more people come out right afterward and say, well, no, it needs to be this much more. We need to add this or that. Before you know it, before we're too far into the bill, we're sitting on $500 billion of spending things like this. So things can take up and things can balance very, very quickly when it comes to these bills. That's how you get to watch these things very closely, because we have to watch it and see what they want to add into it or what they may want to remove. And they are going to leave it as is. Are they going to reform it? Like, what are all the details about it? So whatever is sent over from the Senate over the House of Representatives will likely get some changes made to it. That's typically what we've been seeing happening lately, is any bills that are sent between the chambers, they usually have some amendments, and then they have to go back and be passed it through the other chamber before they can go to the president. So anyway, this next week here, over the coming days, we should be getting more details out of that bill from the Senate, and let's see what does it contain. Again, we won't know about the details until we get further details on what's going on, but we do know that there's a variety of different members out of Congress right now, as well as senators, as well as members in the House of Representatives, who are coming forward with all of these proposals, as of recently calling on gas cards, direct check stimulus payments. We've seen all things of this. So as you can see, there's a lot of different things going on out there. But anyway, it's encouraging. They're working on things. It's slow, but anyway, they are working on some things. And as I do get more details, of course, I'll be right back here for you, breaking it all down and helping you out in any way that I can, and ultimately making sure that you're staying updated with the latest details as this information is happening. So again, thank you so much for joining me. These are the updates that I have for you. As of right now, as I do get more information on any kinds of bills or any additional proposal or packages or checks or direct payments, anything like this, of course, I'll be right here for yet breaking it down and to help you out in any way that I possibly can. So make sure to subscribe down below. If you do so, don't miss any updates going forward. Alright, thanks again. I'll see you soon.